Volodymyr Zelensky, the leader who changed Ukraine. How to become the president of a country at war without contradicting experience. Volodymyr Zelensky is a man who has come an incredible way, from a comedian to the president of Ukraine. His story is not just a biography, it is a symbol of change and new challenges. Today, we considering how Zelensky's success has changed Ukraine, what calls he overcame, and what successes he managed to achieve. The path from actor to President Volodymyr Zelensky began his career as a comedian, producer, and founder of the studio Kvartal 95. His TV series Servant of the People became a real phenomenon. Zelensky played the role of an ordinary history teacher who unexpectedly became president and fights corruption. This image turned out to be so popular that it soon turned into reality. In 2019, a decision was made to adopt a policy that formed the eponymous party, Servant of the Green People, and announced this investigation in the presidential elections. His campaign was unconventional, a minimum of pathos, an emphasis on social networks and direct communication with voters. Presidency, the main challenges: 1. The war in eastern Ukraine. In the first days, President Zelensky issued a challenge: the war in Donbass. Despite the application of the principle and the ceasefire, the situation remains unchanged. Zelensky personally went to the front lines to support the soldiers and show that he is ready to fight for the territorial integrity of the country. 2. A full-scale invasion by Russia February 24, 2022, became a turning point for Ukraine and the whole world. Russia launched a full-scale invasion. Zelensky remained in Kyiv, refusing to evacuate, and became a symbol of resistance. His address to the people and leaders of international organizations inspired millions of people. Zelensky organized a global coalition to support Ukraine, attracting military, humanitarian, and financial aid. His speech in the parliaments of the world went down in history as an example of economic struggle. Third, fight against corruption. Ukraine has always faced the problem of corruption. Zelensky proposed to fight it and began to carry out reforms aimed at transparency of government agencies. One of the achievements was the creation of the DIA application, which provides virtual interaction of citizens with the concept. Zelensky's main achievements: 1. International support. Zelensky was able to enlist the support of European countries, the United States, Canada, and other partners. Thanks to his efforts, Ukraine received military and financial assistance, as well as support within the framework of sanctions against Russia. Second, unification of the Ukrainian people. During the war, Zelensky became a symbol of unity. He inspired people to fight for their land, supported the army and volunteers. Under his leadership, Ukraine showed the world that even a small country can lift up the aggressor. Third, reforms in the economy and digitalization. Zelensky actively supports the digital transformation of Ukraine. The DIA application introduced an innovative approach to public administration. He also initiated tax reforms and business support programs to stimulate emergency situations in wartime. The path to Europe. Zelensky achieved the result of obtaining EU candidate status for Ukraine. This was a necessary step towards European integration and a symbolic recognition of the country's merits in the region for democracy. Criticism and difficulties. Despite his successes, Zelensky has also faced criticism. Some accuse him of insufficient effectiveness in the fight against oligarchs, while others believe that reforms are moving too slowly. However, most recognize that the president is working in conditions that are difficult to compare with any other period in the country's history. How Zelensky inspires the world. Volodymyr Zelensky has become a symbol of international courage and leadership. His story inspires millions of people around the world. He shows that even in the most difficult conditions, you can fight for your principles, defend your country, and believe in your convictions. The future of Zelensky and Ukraine. What awaits Volodymyr Zelensky and Ukraine next? The main task is to win the war and rebuild the country. Zelensky has already stated that Ukraine will create conditions for the entire world on how to cope with the crisis and emerge stronger. Volodymyr Zelensky is not just a president. He is a leader who has become the voice of his people on the world stage. His story is a story of how determination, courage, and unity can change the world. Subscribe to our channel to learn more about those who are making history right now.